Welcome back to part 2 of my Austria campaign for Napoleonic Total War 3. We're jumping right back into the action. I've just finished turn 1 and turn 2 is now upon us. I was feeling pretty confident that we'd be able to push our advantage towards Stuttgart and Strasburg, but where was Napoleon? Advancing too quickly would leave ourselves exposed and maybe we would turn into the fateful General Mack. As you can see, the Confederation of the Rhine happened whilst we were asleep, which means the province of Württemberg here and Bavaria, if we hadn't taken it, would have become French. We could actually take Württemberg here. Interesting. Let's have a look at the Italian troops here. We've put our spy in this city here. A lot of good line infantry, veteran line infantry, grenadiers, 12 pounders, heavy cavalry, dragoon cavalry, a decent general. Tough fight, and also remember that there's a ton of garrison troops. Remember, it's 100 units per army, so that's a lot of garrison troops there. So I don't think we could win a fight against them. I do, however, think we can position ourselves relatively close to this bridge. We could take Stuttgart here. However, Napoleon is right there. I tell you what we're going to do actually. We're going to take it and we're going to sack it because we need to basically get some money in the bank. So we're going to take it and sack it. And we're going to loot it for 3,000. Oh, that's not great, is it? Let's peacefully occupy it. 3,000 gold really isn't that. We should have probably looted Bavaria. I was expecting at least 10,000, but we are going to take it. I reckon we'll leave our infantry and artillery in there. Okay, that gives us a little better chance of it not rebelling. Yeah, I think we need to commit to it. If the French want to come and get us, they'll come and get us, won't they? Alright, so we can take about half our army and we'll move them into Stuttgart. We are going to commit to this. That's not gone well. I've really messed that up, haven't I? Hopefully the French don't attack next turn. Hard to tell with Napoleon where things can go. Let's see if we've messed up or not. Oh, no. I don't think we did. Oh, they just walked around us. That's very stupid. Okay, so the French didn't attack us. That's good. But unlike the Austrians in the real history, we have actually managed to take an incredible amount of French land, and we really are on par with Napoleon's forces here now. Could quite easily defend Stuttgart. We've just recruited this army here in this region, so let's put that under General Mack. We need to keep recruiting units at the moment, mostly infantry, although we do need to start increasing our artillery output, I think. Ottomans, nothing from them at the moment, which is good. Alright, let's end another turn. I don't think there's anything else we can do this turn. We're waiting for reinforcements from Venice before we can safely take Milan. I don't think they're going to recruit many more troops anyway, so I think we'll be fine. A new turn is upon us. Alright, our army is here. Let's rejoin them. And next turn, Archduke Charles can lead the assault on Milan. We have a huge, our army here is massive now. Let's see what we can find down here. Looks like it's just a regular French army with a general in there. Not sure where Napoleon's moving right now or what he's doing. But it looks like we've managed to secure our position relatively well. And we pretty much have a nearly a full stack here of 100 units. Next turn we're going to take on the Italians, but let's move our spy up. I'm not sure there's any need for him to stay there, so let's see what's over here. Oh, this is Suchet. He's down south. I don't know if he's just moved there or that's where he spawns. He is arranged to help his Italian allies, so we'll see what happens next turn. Apart from him, there's any other major French opposition down south. I don't know why it looks like he's standing there because he spawned in there. But I don't remember that being the case when I played my French campaign. It might be different for when the AI plays it, I don't know. Let's see if we can find a trade node that isn't occupied by a Spanish, French, Ottoman ship. It's at this point where I'm thinking, do we try and invade France on turn, 5, 6? I'm not sure how much better a position we could physically be in. This is really not as difficult as I was expecting it to be, let's be honest. Okay, it looks like Suchet has abandoned Italy. It's abandoned Torino as well, which is odd. Oh, it looks like the... maybe we should have sieged them last turn, I don't know. It's going to be a tough fight. I think we need to siege them now. Skirmishers, decent line infantry, decent, or more than decent cavalry. Better artillery than us, yeah, we outnumber them with good infantry, but they outnumber us overall. I think we should siege them here. That way they can't recruit any more units. I was just worried about attacking them last turn. I didn't want Suchet to come and reinforce. And in the meantime, we can find the quickest unit to recruit, which is probably militia, but I don't think that's a very good idea to do. Hopefully they won't attack us. If they do, we'll just have to see what we do. But we found 2 of Napoleon's marshals. We've killed 1 already. We've killed Massena already. Where is Napoleon? He should be here. He should be pushing on us right now. Do we want to push on Strasburg? Or do we want to hold off? Very under-defended right now. Very, very under-defended. I mean, that's one of our missions, is to take Alsace-Lorraine, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I don't see why we shouldn't take it. We have 6,000 men. Make that 8,000 men. I'm just worried Napoleon's lurking with like a 25 stack or a 30 stack, and we're just going to get completely roasted. Let's do it. And it is a random general. That's Pierre Dupont. I don't think that's a general that I've ever heard of or seen before. So it looks like Napoleon is consolidating his marshals back in Paris, I reckon. A ton of artillery, but not much else. In fact, this artillery, even though it's a powerful force, is actually its weakest link because there's not a battle line that can hold up against ours, and so we'll just better breeze over them. I'm going to fight this one because I don't want their artillery killing any of our generals. Oh, what a nice battlefield this is, nice and open and flat. Now you'll see that the French have artillery on the flanks, which is an interesting choice because of howitzers, and howitzers can fire over troops, so you want to position them behind their troops. Militia, very low morale, will probably break if we charge them with cavalry, so I reckon we go for a quick attack. We don't let them deploy their artillery, pull most of our infantry back, and what that will mean is the French artillery don't have anything to shoot at. And what that's going to allow us to do is move our Grenzers forward, outrange the Austrians by a lot, and because we'll outrange them, then they'll have to come into combat with us. We're going to make sure we don't get attacked by this light horse here, so we've got our cuirassiers to deal with them. Right, let's send our Jaegers forward. Nice shots from our French artillery here. Some of our Jaegers are hidden, some of them are not. I think this one's not hidden because it's walking across grassland. Looks like our boys are going to come under some artillery fire here. We're going to push through these trees, watching out all the time for these light horse. We're not in range, so let's pull up a little more. Make sure we don't get ambushed by this cavalry unit here. Not enjoying this battering here, are they? And we're going to pull back a little bit now. In go our cuirassier, I think. Gonna make sure we can counter this French cavalry charge, where our cavalry's stalling again. Come on, push through, please. Okay, we want to pull these Jaegers back a bit more. Pull our cuirassiers out, they've done their job. Sending our Chevalier Leger. These are sort of medium cavalry units. Finish off their artillery. Probably should have done that earlier, but no need. Probably best we actually use this opportunity to... Good hits from the French artillery there. And the reason I'm running my Jaegers that way is because we can then allow our cavalry to pass through quite nicely. Let's see if we can finish those off. Our cavalry becoming a little bit winded now. Again, I'm kind of keeping my line infantry back a little bit more, just so we can have some fresh reserves. The French kind of don't know which way to turn. I mean, they are just absolute begging for artillery fire right now. How can you miss? Looks like the Voltigeurs are trying to push up to counter our Jaegers, but they are getting beaten back here. Kind of want to draw the French into an engagement here in these woods. Looks like the general is going to oblige us. French infantry started to lose cohesion here a little bit. I mean, I will say about the Austrian units, they do look extremely pretty. I mean, just from up here, their white regimental uniforms just look ridiculously well put together. Looks like the French have reorganized. I like their reorganization here. Very boxy, very French. We'll push forward our Grenzers again. Looks like the Voltigeurs have realized that they've been completely out of position here. Cuirassier not even going to take any jokes there. Haven't lost that many men, but we are losing men, so we've got to be aware of what's happening here. These Grenzers are in their sort of natural habitat here. We don't really need to pull them back because even though they outrange this Voltigeur unit, they're in the woods, and the woods give them a huge bonus. We're looking to mop up the French units now. Let's move these. Do some micro there, open up the gap. This is really Austria's strength. Light infantry, heavy cavalry, light cavalry. Look at that beautiful charge. Beautiful. Oh, they broke immediately. What a charge that was. And you see how much better that cohesion was, that charge. In fact, we're going to continue it on because we're actually in a better position now to crush them. In fact, you know what? I reckon we can do it. Let's hope these Cuirassiers can hold on a little bit longer. That morale shock may be enough to break these French units. Look at that. Whole group just broke. But you can just see the power of a good cavalry charge that doesn't get hindered by your own units. A good combined arms operation again. Grenzers really just pulling back, shooting, pulling back, shooting. Cavalry coming in for strikes, and you can see the result. Look at this. Carnage. Disaster for the French here. Absolute disaster. We were always going to win that. But it's not about winning, it's about how we can win without taking a ridiculous amount of casualties. I'm actually kind of impressed. I've never played the Austrians before. I'm very impressed by their Jaeger. I want to see these kills. We're going to ignore the cavalry again, apart from our Cuirassier, which did exceptionally well overall. And the Jaeger, yeah, all the Jaegers doing fantastic. Remember, they fire a lot slower than regular line infantry. Longer range, slower, taking out units slowly, drawing the French out and allowing our Cuirassier to come in and hit them hard. And that's what really worked well there. Yes, they didn't get 150 kills each, but they're never going to. They were only going to do that if they were in a prolonged engagement, and that's not what they're for. They're not for standing against another infantry unit, they're for pulling back, shooting, retreating, using cover. It's all about fluidity and using combined arms, but you can see our cavalry getting a ton of experience there. That's exactly what we need them to do. We have the option here to capture the settlement in two different ways. One, to peacefully occupy it, or two, to loot it. We get 16 grand for doing that. And also, the thing is, yes, we're going to suffer a lot of consequences for that, but it may be impossible to hold this region, so we want to make sure we get as much money out of it as we can for the time being, so we're going to loot it. Strasburg has fallen, the first major French province that they cannot recruit from. Next turn, we'll have the Italian city of Milan. Let's see what the next turn brings. We have 4,000 in the bank.